Oh, yes, hello. What can I do for you today? I'm sorry, we don't serve scary goblins here. You'll have to buy what happened last time on the Incorrigible party somewhere else.
Okay, let's do it quick.
Where are we going? Magic, magic, magic. Oh, okay.
I forget your name.
Well, I don't believe I ever gave it.
I'm Falzarin. Nice to meet you.
And I'm the owner of Magic.
I'm afraid they don't retain their resale value very well.
Yeah, obviously. Wow.
It's like, as soon as you drive that horse off the lot, price goes down 25%.
I think we might have bought a night or two. I don't think she's stupid. I think she's gonna see right through this. So I'll watch for another hour or so, and then if I still feel pretty comfortable that whatever that thing was that I saw before is not around, I'll go to sleep.
Now, for the rest of you, your purchasing adventure can continue at weapons.
Yeah. That's the perfect trance there. That's kind of an internal monologue. Leland.
Mm-hmm.
Since I've already meditated for 4 hours, I think I have somewhere I'd like to go while the others are sleeping.
Okay. So your meditation is over, meaning you get all the benefits from your long rest. So I don't know if you were damaged at all, but all your hit points come back. All your hit dice come back, so you're at full strength.
Yep, I'm back to full strength. I had some damage on me, so I kind of remember you mentioning Blake Lakely had a safe.
There was a safe in his office, yes.
Yeah, right underneath that box I took. I realized how lucky we were with all those rolls in his office the other day, but I'm wondering if I could go try to hack the safe.
Absolutely, yeah.
I don't know, maybe, hopefully in the middle of the night, there's nothing that, I won't have to roll as lucky. That was my thoughts, is like, I'm trained in this kind of thing, but
Sure, yeah, absolutely.
I'm still pretty nervous, because I've known I wanted to do this for a while.
Right.
This is splitting up the recording. It's been how many weeks? So
Yeah, it's been a long time since we recorded last.
So I want to break into the mayor's safe and see what's in there.
Okay, so your guys' rooms are kind of on the second floor of the Jiminy Eagle. You can come and go from the inn as you please, right? I mean, you're just renting the room. So you walk down to like the tavern area, and you see that it's, even though it is now getting on to like sometime past midnight, probably in the very early hours of the morning, still the inn is pretty populated. Not quite as much as the night before you retired, right? It was packed the night before, but there's still quite a lot of people indulging in libations and getting a little drunk.
Are people gonna remember what I look like? And then I'm leaving, or anything like that.
Possibly,
that's what I'm a little.
But there are certainly like other elves you notice,
All
and
right.
other different types of races. A few halflings. There's a dwarf over there in the corner. So I don't know, as far as your racial features, I don't think you're particularly sticking out like a sore thumb, but
Okay.
if you want to maybe throw a hood up or something.
Yeah, I was about to say I want to throw my hood up and just kind of skirt out of there.
Okay, just make me like a quick stealth check to maybe try to duck out unnoticed.
Alright. That's a 24.
Okay.
My stealth is pretty good.
Pretty good, yeah. You're kind of weaving in amongst the people, maybe kind of trailing behind a waiter running around with a tray of drinks, and the patrons really focus more on the drinks coming their way than a 4 foot 11
Yeah,
wood elf slinking around.
that's true.
So you leave the Jiminy Eagle and you get out onto the main road. You know, the front door kind of closing behind you and muffling the sounds of the crowded inn. And now, kind of really your first time on the street during night, at least, right, in Goldum. You see along this main road, every like 40 or 50 feet, there are these lit torches which cast quite a bit of light into the main road.
Okay.
Around the torches, it's kind of like this radius of 20 feet of like really bright light, and then, at the furthest outreach of each torch, it's kind of more like dim and a little more shadowy. Even though it's pretty late, you still see like the odd like stumbling patron kind of leaving their own inn. But really what you notice populating the streets more is like guard patrols. And which kind of makes sense. The city is in this constant state of high alert.
Right.
They're certainly going to have maybe a little more, a stronger guard presence than what you may normally find in a regular city.
All right, how far to the city hall or wherever?
Not too far.
Okay.
And as far as you know, there's no like imposed curfew because of the monster attacks or the animal attacks. So you don't feel like there would be any reason for a guard to stop you or question you should you pass by one just walking down the main road.
Okay.
So you could freely stroll right up to the city hall. I don't know how close exactly you want to get before maybe you want to try to duck into an alley or something.
Yeah, let's just like super casually, I want to walk by the guards down the street, and then once I see the city hall, I want to do like a perception or something.
Okay, sure.
See what's going on.
If you take maybe 5 or 10 minutes to kind of just study, you can make out, you see that they have this clear like patrol path.
Okay, yeah.
And it really consists of this main arterial road, right, that you're on. And there's plenty of different alleys that kind of branch off of this, in between each building as you're walking down the street.
Okay.
Roll me a perception on the front of the city.
Yeah, I think I have some time to observe what's going on.
Oh yeah.
My perception's 14.
Okay. In the near vicinity, you don't see any guards or even any other like bar-going patrons. You kind of see as a group of 2 guards have kind of already passed you on your way to the hall. So as far as you can tell, it's pretty clear. But the city hall is right on the main road, meaning that light and that torchlight from the main road is pretty well illuminating the very front door of it.
Am I able to see any like shadier areas to go kind of over by, or should I just keep walking?
To either side of the front door, there's windows on this bottom floor. There's certainly you could go around the side of the building away from where the light is kind of shining from this main road. Maybe find a window that you could crack open.
With this on my mind, I think since I was in the office, do you need me to roll, or can we just say that I know where the office is? Like I memorize.
Right, yeah. If you recall, there were quite a few turns. I believe it was a left, right, right
Yeah,
to get. So from from the main entryway, you could absolutely navigate your way to the office. But should you go into another type of entrance, you may have it may take you a little longer to find the office than you might like.
Ugh.
But it's a risk you may want to take if you think you can get an easier entry into the building.
Yeah, so I'm gonna stop studying the front and I'm gonna go around and look at the other parts of the building.
Okay. So as you kind of, nonchalantly, I just kind of pictured you kind of being on the other side of the street, maybe between 2 buildings, just kind of scoping it out.
Yeah.
And with no one around, you can kind of just hop across the street and kind of down along the side of the building. And you didn't obviously explore the entirety of the city hall, but even from the outside, this is a very, very large building.
Mm-hmm.
At least, like just this front side is maybe 100 feet, wide, and the depth of it, not quite sure until you have to run all the way down this kind of side alley. But as you work your way down there, every 20, 30 feet, there's maybe a window, which could signify like, oh, okay, here's like a room, right? And then another room.
Like a ground level window?
Yeah. And you find a spot where it is completely out of any torchlight thrown from the main road. So you are now in like completely shrouded in darkness.
Okay. I'm gonna go check the window, see if it's locked.
Why don't you make me a stealth check for you just kind of operating within these shadows?
Sure. 25.
Okay, great. You pick the 3rd or 4th window down into this alley.
Yeah.
And you try to open it, and it is latched. It is locked. So you have some options.
Yeah, I know. I got some tools.
Right, you are proficient with your thieves' tools that will help you to try to unlock. You also, I believe in your burglar's pack, have a crowbar.
Mm-hmm,
if you want to,
I do.
Worst case scenario, just smash the glass and...
Yeah, let's go for picking the lock. Let's try that first. Yeah.
So just roll me a dexterity check, And because you're proficient with your thieves' tools, you can add your proficiency bonus to it as well.
Dexterity's not on the...
So it's actually not a specific skill. It's
Okay.
just like your dexterity bonus.
I rolled a nat 20.
Whoa, okay.
And then, so that's a 23.
And then you would also add your proficiency, right? Because you are proficient in thieves' tools.
So then that's plus 5, so that's 25
Right.
again.
So a total of
Jeez.
25.
Bryn was built for this, kids!
Easily, you just kind of, with the thieves' tools is like a series of like files and picks and maybe like, like one of those Jimmy bar things. So you just kind of put it into the top half of this window and just pry open the latch, and the window slides right open, and you're in.
What do I see? Where am I?
So you kind of find yourself in what looks to be like a filing room. There's kind of these shelves with these different books. You could surmise like this is just like maybe even this is part of the city's records as far as infrastructure and business licenses, all that administrative stuff. But in this room, nobody else is in it. It's just you so
Right.
far.
Okay, I want to find the exit and then peek out in the hallway and see what I see.
Okay, make me a stealth check then to kind of stealthily open this door into the hallway.
Okay, so that one's not very good, but if I have my wood elf bow on me, do I get advantage on stealth?
You do, yes.
So, okay, because I was going to say
Yep.
that was only a 2 on the dice, so that's terrible. That's bad. There we go, 22.
You silently open this door
Yeah.
into this hallway and kind of looking to your left and the right. You don't see any signs of anybody. Why don't you make me a perception check as well?
Alright. I don't get to double roll on that.
No.
9.
You also don't hear any signs of movement anywhere from your vantage point anyways. And both to the left and right of this hallway are clear. You can see, though, to your right, the hallway ends in what looks like it opens up into a much larger room, whereas to your left, it just looks like the hallway continues and like takes a corner.
Okay.
And there are more closed doors on both sides of this hallway as well.
Does Bryn have any idea, like, in relation to the main entrance, what part of the building she's in? And, like, was the mayor's office on the first floor, or was it up?
It was on the second, I believe.
I was thinking it wasn't on the main floor, yeah.
Yeah, so you can make me a survival. Yeah, let's make me a survival check.
Not good. 7.
Well, even with that low check, you kind of know like to your right would be back towards the main entrance.
Okay.
Like the front of the building.
Okay. I'm gonna put in my earplugs. By the entrance of this door here, I want to put them in. I know that it means I'll be otherwise considered deaf, but I just want for like a quick minute to see if I sense whatever. Tremor sense, right?
That's right, tremor sense, yeah. The earplugs of the bullet.
I don't know. I wrote down heavy earplugs. Oh no, it says earplugs of the bullet. Okay, yeah. Filed from teeth. Ugh. Oh, they're from giant teeth?
No, they're from...
Giant burrowing beast. Okay, never mind.
That's what a bullet is.
Okay, ignore me. So I want to... Can I pop one in and then be like half deaf?
No, not... Doesn't quite work that way.
Alright, I just want to do it for like a quick, I don't know, 20, 30 seconds or something. See if I feel anything within 40 feet.
Is it 40 feet?
It says 40 feet on my notes. Tremor sense up to 40 feet.
Yes, okay. So are you gonna move?
No, I kind of want to sit right by this cracked doorway.
Okay, so you pop them in.
Yep.
You kind of just close your eyes and you don't sense to the far reach of your tremor sense. You don't feel any type of vibrations like that would be considered like footsteps or anything around you. Seems like it's all clear from your spot.
Okay, so then I want to stealth to the right and try to see if I can get to somewhere I recognize.
Are you
Which
keeping
is
the
obviously not much. Oh no, I want to pop them back out. Take the
you pop
earplugs
those
out.
ones
Yeah.
Okay. And you kind of creep down this hallway. Why don't you make me another stealth check?
Pretty sweet time to be able to roll twice every time.
Yeah, right.
I got a 20 not natural on that.
Okay.
Unless you want me to re-roll. Unless
No,
it's
that's
harder than 20.
That's pretty good. So you make it down to where the hallway kind of opens up into this larger larger room, and you notice now, okay, you've found the main entrance, which was
Like the lobby.
served as the
Okay.
lobby with like the director's desk and a flight of stairs now to your left, whereas coming into the building they would be to your right.
Okay, so I know we go upstairs, and Bryn would remember the whatever, left, right, left, whatever
Yeah,
you do.
you'll now you know exactly where you are. You'll
I
be able to
forget
get
what it
there.
was. Okay, yeah, let's keep stealthing. Let's go.
Okay, so your previous stealth check is enough to get you up to the second floor,
Okay.
and now you absolutely are recognizing, even in the dark, but with your dark vision, you can
Right.
certainly recognize the floor and where you are. So why don't you just roll me a final stealth check, and it'll get you to the mayor's office if it's good enough.
Oh dear. It's 27. That was a nat.
Okay.
The second one. The first one was a 3.
My goodness.
Oh.
All right, you found yourself in front of the mayor's office. It's got this closed door with like a kind of glass inlay that says Mayor Blakely on the glass.
Nice. I'm guessing it's locked.
Yes, you try the doorknob. The office is locked.
Alright, I came this far. Let's keep being sneaky and let's try to pick the lock.
All right, roll me another dexterity check, and you can again add your proficiency.
16.
A 16 is just enough to pop this door open. It's just kind of a simple doorknob lock. There's no additional security to it, as it's a room inside of a supposedly secure building.
Right.
The door swings open, and you are now back into the now empty office of Mayor Blake Lakely.
Alright, so I'm pretty, certain it's empty. I don't need to do a check or anything like that.
No, the room's certainly small enough.
Okay.
I suppose there could be somebody hiding under the desk, but yeah, if you wanted to still continue to be sneaky to get to the safe, you absolutely could.
Okay, so before I go to the safe, with my vantage from the door here, do I see anything that catches my eye? I'm specifically hoping that in this room or in the safe somewhere, there's more of those boxes, what Falzarin has.
Then roll me another perception then.
Okay, perception. 19.
You don't notice any more of the boxes that contain those 4 items that you
Right.
pilfered. Really, the only change you notice, now you see his desk is devoid of papers now. It seems that it's been tidied, whereas before, if you recall, there were work orders for construction stuff all over it. But actually, leaning up against the front of the desk is kind of a large rectangle, which covered in paper.
Okay.
But other than that, everything,
Probably another portrait of himself or something.
quite possibly, yeah.
For some reason, I wanted to check for cameras, but that's probably not a thing.
No, that's not something you have to worry about.
Is there anything magic that could be alarming or alarms or?
Okay, why don't you roll me an Arcana check then, to try to see if you maybe know
Because
something.
I'm I don't know. 8.
To your knowledge, it's never really something you've come up against before or have had to deal with.
Okay.
So if there is some type of additional security to the room itself, you could probably surmise that just the act of you opening the door would have triggered something had there
Okay.
been additional defenses for the room.
Yeah, this is all new for me. I don't know. All right, let's go to that safe then.
It hasn't moved, so
Yeah.
it's exactly where you saw it last.
Behind the desk. All right.
Yeah, and it's actually it's like your typical dial lock safe.
Okay. Yep.
So this may take a little bit more finessing than
Right.
picking a simple lock.
Got to get out the stethoscope.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. How do we want to do this? I didn't really think of how to do this. I thought for sure you'd get caught and be in jail by now.
you gave me the wood elf bow, man.
That's true.
I've got
I know.
advantage on stealth, and +7 stealth is pretty.
That's pretty
legit.
badass. Yeah, that's really good. Okay, let's see. I'm going to get you to roll kind of a quick series of checks.
Okay.
And you'll need 3 successes before you need 3 fails to signify the 3 numbers that you would get to correctly guess the combination.
Okay.
To open it. All right, so let's first. Yes.
It's like a shootout. All right.
A little bit. So first thing you can do, you can start. Why don't you make me a sleight of hand to manipulate the dial?
Okay. Well, you knew I don't get a advantage on sleight of hand. I got 7.
Okay.
Not good.
Not good, no. Now, why don't you make me a perception check as you're kind of listening for the tumblers and trying to find that.
Gosh. It's not gonna... Oh my gosh. 5.
Ooh, okay.
Get me out of here.
And you're continuing to twist and just listening very carefully, but you can't quite seem to find the position that you need.
I'm gonna put in my earplugs. Will those help me?
Okay. Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. All right. Now I'm gonna get you to make. Why don't you make a second perception check with advantage? Now that you can basically sense the tumblers inside of this.
Perception. My highest is 13.
Okay, that's good. That's
Better.
good. Yeah, you're definitely starting hearing that kind of some of that click, 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 right?
Okay.
Okay, make me another sleight of hand now with advantage because you succeeded on that first one.
2 d20s rolled the same exact thing.
Is it good?
No, it's 5. So I have a 10.
Okay, 10 total. Hey, 10 is
So
actually
stupid.
the DC you needed, so that's fine.
Gosh. So bad.
Okay, now, boy, what should this last check be? What kind of check would you use to open up a safe?
Probably a nature check. I'm just kidding.
Actually,
I
why
have
don't you
no
make
intelligence, so no.
Just make me one more perception check with advantage, and if
Okay.
you nail this, then it's open.
Yes. Perception is wisdom. 20.
There you go, and you finally find
Yeah.
that third number, and you just hear a final click, and you're able to just to press the handle, and the door of the safe swings open.
Alright. Tell me what I've won!
So I don't know how happy you'll be, but
Aw.
inside you basically see kind of this stack of papers.
Oh.
In addition, though, to a small leather pouch, but that's kind of it. Just these 2 items.
How big is this stack of papers? Like, can I take it with me?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You'd absolutely be able to.
Can I read it?
Yeah. So if you're kind of leafing through them, and you actually see that they're the first few pages you're leafing through. That's actually like what looks like blueprints.
Okay. Of?
You know, the first couple, you're kind of like, oh, they're kind of weird. And then you kind of get to the last few, or midway through the stack of papers, and you actually kind of start to recognize what these blueprints are, and they looks like...
The towers. They
look like a blueprint of the towers that the paladins are using.
What?
And the very last page you kind of get to, there's like a stack kind of like attached, and it looks like basically like this work order, like almost this contract
Ooh.
for the construction of these towers. And you see that it's kind of outlining the proprietary construction rights of these paladin towers for the foreseeable future. And on the very last page, you can make out 2 signatures.
Okay.
The first one, signed by Drake Lakely.
Drake?
Drake Lakely.
Lakely.
And the second signature, kind of the countersigned signature, is signed by a Samuel Coltis. And the last bit of key information on these papers is they are dated. This contract is seemingly dated and signed 40 years ago.
4 or 40?
40.
Interesting. The question is, do I take it with me or just take the knowledge with me?
Right. So you can kind of surmise also, like, those first few stacks, first few pages of blueprints, like,
Yeah.
there's very distinctly 2 different types of towers here.
Okay.
You know, having been in that one less than a year ago, right, with Hank, and then now also having gotten fairly close to the new ones, like, you know the new ones are much larger than what you are familiar with. And that's kind of what these new blueprints you see are for.
Okay. Have you given me everything you want to give me from those papers?
Yeah, they're pretty straightforward. I mean,
Okay.
if you wanna sit there and take another hour to read through the legalese of the binding contract, I mean,
Not super, but I want to make sure Bryn spends enough time that she can recall anything.
in summation, you get the sense just
They're working
flipping
together.
through.
There's
The
some...
contract, yes. Someone by the name of Drake Lakely has signed this contract with Samuel Coltis 40 years ago to be the sole constructor of these towers.
Yeah. Interesting. Okay, what's in the pouch?
Well, the pouch, actually, you kind of, as you pick it up, it kind of jingles a little bit. You actually see it's filled with gold pieces.
Okay. I don't want them to know I was in the safe, though. So if I take the gold, they know I was in the safe.
Yeah, that's right.
But
I didn't even think of that.
But it's Bryn.
Well, if
gold.
it helps make your decision, it seems like it's quite a bit of gold.
Do I have anything I could put in the leather satchel to make it appear full and take the gold? I could put my ball bearings, some of the ball bearings in there.
Yeah, you could.
Replace it so that maybe, unless they literally open it, they just think it's full.
Right.
Alright, team, I'm taking the gold for you guys. I'm taking the gold and I'll replace it with the ball bearings.
Okay, I like that.
And,
That's funny.
I don't have a calling card on me at the time, so we'll just,
What is Bryn's calling card?
I don't know. It's just like a black card with black printing on it. You can't see it.
It says, you have just been robbed. And or murdered.
How much gold is it?
Do you want to sit here now to count it, or do you want to wait till you possibly
You know what?
get back
No,
to the game?
I won't count it, I guess.
It's enough where you would need to... You couldn't count it at a cursory
Yeah,
glance. It's quite a bit of gold.
That's pretty good. Okay.
Well, how much gold do you have on you right now?
113.
It is significantly more than what you have on
Yeah, it is. Because I know I was thinking earlier, too, about selling those rubies, so...
Right.
That's why I was looking for jewelry stores and stuff. Okay, so I take the gold, I fill it with ball bearings, I put the papers back, leave the safe just so. I shut it, twist the dial, lock it up. And then, is there anything in the room or office that looks like Blake Lakely's, family or dad, or, this Drake Lakely? Is there any sign of that name anywhere, or pictures?
Ah, okay.
Or maybe it's somewhere else in the city hall. Have I seen that name, or...
You certainly aren't familiar with Drake Lakely. I mean, obviously you've met Blake and are now familiar with the Lakely name. Mm-hmm. You can maybe ruffle through his desk if you'd like. You want to take the time to
Why
go through.
not? I'm in here.
Okay. Are you trying to maintain some type of stealth, or are you just...
Yeah, I'm gonna go slow enough to be quiet, yeah.
Okay. Then,
And, I want it to look like it did for him in the
that no
morning.
one
I
was
don't,
there.
yeah.
Okay, why don't you roll me then another stealth here?
Okay, yeah, I'm good. 17 plus 7. Yeah, so I want to look for Drake Lakely, I want to look for tower stuff.
Right. So going through there's kind of two main drawers on either side, right, where the chair would tucked under. Mm-hmm. And then there's kind of one middle skinnier drawer right in the center, right? Kind of your typical desk if you were to think of a desk, right? Mm-hmm. And in the very top one, the very skinny one, if you pull it out, it looks like it's more like a bunch of personal items.
Okay.
You kind of just inspecting it, it's a bunch of hair product.
Of course.
As you recall, Blake has quite the coif that he must maintain. So there's, whatever the D&D equivalent of hair gel is, maybe beeswax or that kind of stuff, right? But then in the two lower, taller drawers on the very bottom of either side of this, it actually is full of what looks like regular documentation. And kind of going through the one on your right, it looks like the very similar papers to what you had sneakily inspected behind Blake Lakely's back when they were on top of the desk. Mm-hmm. And then in the other side, on the left side, there's again just more paperwork, less paperwork, but kind of just kind of leafing through. You don't see any cursory glance. You don't see any additional mention of the paladins or of Blake's family.
Okay.
I mean, you do, though, the papers that are in there are all, the majority of them are, construction notices and, permit plans, all kind of seemingly centering around, construction.
40 years ago.
No, these ones, most of them are going to be related to potential plans to rebuild the city once things are back under control. Again, other kind of building constructions, even maybe for other cities.
Okay.
So it seems like the Lakely name is attached to some type of construction company.
Right. I forgot to ask, when I looked at all the blueprints, will I retain any working knowledge of, the towers
That is a good question. I think when the time comes, I'll get you to do a check.
Right.
And depending on what the situation is, and depending on how well you roll, may also influence whether or not I possibly give you advantage on whatever you are happening to do at the time, that kind of thing. But the blueprints, they look very basic. They're these circular towers, and kind of around the perimeter is just this spiral of stairs, and of course they're just simple building plans, so there's nothing on them that would give you any information about what is actually housed in the tower.
Okay.
But you will then have the knowledge that there are rooms that run the full length of the tower, like all the way right to the very top of it.
Okay. All right, let's get the heck out of here.
Okay.
I put everything back just so.
All right. Why don't you make me a sleight of hand check then to kind of set things back to the way they were.
Okay. Yeah, 23.
Okay. It's like you were never here.
Bryn was made for this. Okay.
She really was. Yeah, absolutely.
I'm glad I decided to come. I think that's some useful information.
Okay, so you're just gonna go right out the way you came?
Is there a window in his office?
Yeah, there is, but again, he's on the second floor.
That's okay.
Okay.
I think that's fine.
Sure, if you want to drop down.
I got a ring of jumping. Does that count as jumping down?
You will still take the falling damage.
I'll take a little falling damage.
If you jump 2 stories. Yeah.
That's fine. I'll take a little falling damage. Can I not, climb down the wall with a rope? I have rope.
Like, you'd have to attach it to something in the office, right?
Yeah, so I'll unlatch the window and try to go down the window without a rope and take a little damage. It'll be fine.
Okay.
I think that it'll be better than running into somebody in the main entrance.
Okay, you know what? So you get the window open.
Yeah.
And you can kind of get out. Actually, there is actually kind of this little ledge that seems to kind of just run around the building.
Oh, how convenient.
That you're able to just barely get your toes on. And I assume you want to close the window behind you.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so that's going to reduce the majority of your handhold. But this building is comprised of brick.
Yeah.
So why don't you try to make me a very difficult acrobatics check to get down.
17.
Okay, that's all right. That's good enough. You're able to find these kind of.
I'm good at all these things you're making checks for. Sleight of hand,
know, right?
Stealth, acrobatics.
You're good. Yeah,
pretty good.
You find some grip in between some grout maybe have come out between some of these bricks, and
all right, sweet.
And you make it to the alley, and now you notice this alley is on like it's the other side of the building, right?
Yeah.
So it's opposite side of the alley that you open a window to get into.
Am I able to, I don't know, get back to the inn?
Yeah, absolutely. Do you want to just kind of
be sneaky?
Stealth again?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead and make
Why
another
not?
stealth.
When I got 2 rolls for stealth.
As you're approaching the light of the main road.
Oh, that wasn't fantastic. 16.
Okay, that's fine. As you're kind of getting close to where the light would shine on you, you hear footsteps and kind of the chit chat of 2 guards just kind of again on their patrol route strolling down the main road, and you stop in time, duck into the shadows, and they pass by as they kind of pass by the mouth of this alley in which you're looking at.
Okay.
And you wait maybe 20-30 seconds and you can duck into the main road.
Yep.
And continue as if you were walking from wherever.
All right. I'll go back to the inn, and I'm assuming the tavern is still hopping.
Well, so as you are approaching the inn, you notice that as you get within maybe 150, 200 feet, all the torches on the main road, they've been extinguished. So now there's this long stretch of this main thoroughfare that's in complete darkness.
What?
Do you continue to the inn?
No. Can I duck somewhere and observe and see if I see anything?
Absolutely. You want to kind of hide?
Yeah.
Okay, so why don't you give me another stealth then to kind of obscure yourself from anything that might be lurking.
So that's a 27.
Okay.
Natural 20 on one of my dice. I love this.
Okay. And now make me a perception then as you're kind of peering. So remember though, your dark vision is only up to 60 feet.
Yeah,
so you'll be seeing 60 feet around you, but you can't see all the way to the inn, right? It's complete dark.
Not as good with perception. 11.
Okay. You kind of nestled between these 2 smaller buildings, maybe a couple random businesses. And immediately in front of you, you don't see any movement, but actually you can see just at the reach, at the farthest point of where your vision kind of starts to fade into blackness.
Right.
You see what looks like two like bodies lying kind of off to the side of the main road.
Oh, what the crap. Oh, no. Two bodies, no one else around? Just like...
No, nothing else around. Again, that's like just as far as you can see, basically. So if there's anything beyond them, you cannot see it.
I want to sneak closer.
Okay, I'll just keep your stealth check. I
Okay.
don't even know why I'm getting you to roll stealth checks.
I know.
So as you get closer, you see that the bodies, there are two guards.
Okay.
Like two guards that were on patrol, and they've just been... They look like they've been like beaten to death. Like something very strong has
What?
like crushed them.
Can I tell by looking at them, like, whether it was human or animal or beast or anything?
Why don't you make me a medicine check?
9. I'm not a very medicinal elf.
Well, you're strong. You're good at other things.
Did you plan this? Did you plan bodies?
No comment. So, just cursory glance, you see these guards. They've been pummeled, but actually, on your closer inspection, now that you're right up to them, you actually do see like what looks like these weird bite marks. Something like from something that had a really big mouth.
Jeez. If it's a dragon, Leland. That was the joke, was that he was going to make me face a dragon. What would Bryn do? Do I see any immediate danger around me or anything?
You want to make another perception check then?
20, not natural.
Okay, that was just high enough to, from behind you, you hear the kind of the footfall of something really big. And as you turn, standing directly behind you, with its kind of mouth like a gape, you see what looks like a giant toad, and it's just kind of shrouded in darkness.
Like a grung?
Like a supersized grung.
Okay.
Like 8-9 feet tall. And whereas the grung were more frog-like, this looks like this weird, crazy toad with his giant mouth full of teeth, weirdly.
And he's ready to chomp on me.
And he's ready to chomp on you.
Alright,
So
I pull my rapier out.
Yeah, roll
This is
initiative.
so stupid. Oh no. Oh no. 7.
Well, he got a 19.
Ugh. No chance.
Boy, now would have been a good time for a natural 20 on that initiative.
I know. Get that
get the
badger.
badger going.
Jeez. It's like, I'll never need a badger. Yeah.
Okay, so what this giant toad does, it's just mouth is just opening and it just lunges towards you for a bite. Oh, but it only bites for 11, which is a miss.
Yeah, that's a miss.
As you're able to kind of just lean back as its jaws kind of snap in front of you.
All my stuff, like, banks on him being engaged with someone else. So let's see if I can hit him with my... Oh, my longbow is better than my rapier, but I'm too close to him, right?
Yeah, but you do have your cunning action, right? You could
right.
disengage for free and kind of back up from him.
Alright, let's use my wood elf bow, disengage, back up, and point an arrow at him.
All right.
Could have been a better attack roll. That's a 14.
14 is a miss.
Yeah, I figured.
So you're 35 feet away.
Yeah, I went as far as I could.
Well, it moves 30 feet, can't quite get next to you, but its mouth opens up again, and its great, big, pink, fleshy tongue shoots out at you.
Oh no.
But only with a 10, which is a miss.
Nice.
This tongue just kind of flings past your head, and then it snaps back into its mouth. It can't quite get you.
All right, I'm gonna sink an arrow into that
All right.
big old tongue. Yes. Okay, so that is a 23 to hit.
That's a hit. Yeah.
And then, so now with my longbow, it's a D8 plus my dex, which is 3 plus 1. So D8 plus 4, basically.
That's right. Yeah.
Okay. So that's 8 damage.
Okay. As your arrow kind of sinks right into it's got this big bulbous chin that kind of almost looks like it's also his neck. You know where like a toad would
Yeah.
croak. and it kind of sinks into it, and it reels back, and just kind of before you, it just, as if it melds into the shadows, and it just disappears.
It's gone.
Like, yeah, as if like it looks like it teleported.
Teleported.
And it just sinks into the shadows.
Okay, I gotta write that down. Alright, is there any other baddies around, or what?
Why don't you make me another perception check?
21.
You do not see anything else around you.
Nice. Okay, get me back inside.
Okay, so as you just running right to the inn, as you get closer, you can still kind of hear sounds from people inside of it. So it seems like the inside of the inn is still normal.
They don't know that this all happened. Okay.
This doesn't seem like it.
Yeah, I'd rather just get in there.
Okay, and as you run up and you kind of get close, 30 feet from the door, you just see again above you what looks like two winged human like figures. They come, you see them fly, smash into two windows on the second story.
What?
Of the inn.
Two winged human figures.
Roll a nature check.
What the heck? 12.
You immediately recognize these as being gargoyles.
Leland, I put my notebook away and everything. Dang it.
They look exactly like the same gargoyle that you fought outside of the cave near Zexa.
Like stony looking gargoyles. Okay.
Yeah.
Two gargoyles, they just smashed onto the second story.
Right, and the second story where the rooms that you guys are staying are located.
Yeah, so is this where you want me to leave it? Dang.
Yeah, basically, we're going to leave it here for you.
Yeah.
And then we'll get back to the rest of the party, but you can run into the inn, and where do you want to run to? What room do you want to go to? Like, who would you run to?
Bryn would run to Gozer, I think.
Okay, so you want to go to Gozer's room?
Yeah. Is Gozer's room one of the ones that were smashed into? Or, like, do I recognize whose rooms were smashed into?
Roll and...
Because I know we looked out the window a little bit with those bone headphones in and stuff like that.
Yes, you did. Okay, roll a perception.
Well, 9.
Yeah, you're not... Because now the just even viewing the city in the dark vision, it looks like it's difficult to pinpoint exactly where you were kind of looking, down from your window, and if you're able to recognize what you were looking at, then you'd be able to kind of pinpoint, but it's difficult to tell. But you do know that your windows looked out onto this road.
Right, I know. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna run up to wake up Gozer.
And that's our show. Our intro and outro music was created by Josh Jarvis. For your own musical inquiries, contact jamesmercymusic@gmail.com. All other music and ambient noise is courtesy of tabletopaudio.com. The Incorrigible Party is sponsored by Critical Hit Design. Visit criticalhitdesign.com for all of your graphic design needs. You can find more info on the characters and world at incorrigibleparty.com. Enjoying the show? Have any questions or rules corrections? Email us, contact@incorrigibleparty.com, or reach out on social media. The Incorrigible Party on Facebook and Instagram, @IncorrigiblePar on Twitter, using the hashtag AfterPartyIP for a shout out during our behind the screen after party episodes that drop every 4th release. Happy adventuring!